Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, October 24th, and today we will cover the trades for YieldMax funds, TSLY, CONY, NVDY, MSTY, and AMZY. But first, I'm going to remember this time, and on behalf of the good news yesterday from both Tesla and MSTY, if you guys enjoy this content, please hit the like button. It does go a long way, and I do greatly appreciate it. And yeah, if you have any comments, obviously throughout the video, please leave them down below and I will get to them, when I can. So as far as yesterday, obviously MSTY had over a $4 payment. So congratulations, MSTY holders. And Tesla finally beat earnings. They haven't beat earnings in a long time. So it kind of surprised the market. So as we get to the pre-market, movement, you'll see that, obviously. All right, so as far as trades, if we look here, we see TSLY had a trade, AMZY had a trade, and CONY had a trade, and that's it. But if you look closely, TSLY did not have a trade. TSLY, however, they had a trade. If you look under the fund, you see TSLY, so obviously a typo there, but whatever. All right, so it's for TSLY. So what happened? What did they do? Buy, call, sell, put. Okay, adding 575 contracts. And then they sold a call into next week. Simple as that. Let's take a look, however, at the spreadsheet. Okay, so what do we have up here? That's TSLY. All right, so again, adding to the synthetic. They're adding to the synthetic, right? No, they're not adding to this one. They haven't added to this one since September 19th. This expired, both synthetics, by the way, they expire in 23 days. And yes, Tesla is jumping up right now. I think I don't know what it's at now, maybe 230 range, but can it catch 245? It actually might be able to, and this could turn into a profit. Can it catch 255? I don't know. Right? I don't know. But that's what they keep adding to. So they must have some type of hope that it will. And let's hope it will. But anyway, so for yesterday, they added 575 contracts to, again, the higher synthetic right before earnings. Brash move. But they got paid, man. They got paid, about $2.3 million. So that's a pretty good chunk of money right there. So they're going to have to recover 16% if they want to see any type of profit on this thing. So hopefully that happens before November 15th. So yeah, we'll see what happens though. We'll see. Now let's go to October tab. Still need to redo most of these spreadsheets with the new year, but I will get around to it. How did Tesla do yesterday? Tesla went down. Again, this is before earnings, obviously, during the market hours. Tesla went down 1.98%. TSLY went down 1.84%. And let's zoom out. Let's get all the trades in one picture. Dogs are barking already. All right, so this is for yesterday, 575 contracts. They chose a 222.50 strike price, 4% out of the money, 4% out of the money, over earnings. Like, okay. Should they have waited, or should they have done this, or should they have not done the call credit spread and try to make it maybe 8% out of the money or something higher? But either way, they did a 4% and a 12%. So, the 4%, how's that going to do? How's that going to fare? Based on what we see right now, no, they're going to lose their shirts on this freaking trade. Yeah, they're going to possibly make money on the call credit spread. But again, it's not going to be enough to offset the loss that is about to happen on that other trade. But again, we'll see how that plays out. But in the end, it looked like a stupid trade. So let's take a look up here. Let's go from the top. How are these other trades? Well, again, they have a 232.50. They have a lot of 232.50s. That's 8% out of the money. And that's for this Friday. So that's what they got today. Obviously, it's jumping up today. And then they got Friday. So they got 2 days. And then they got a 230, and that's 7% out of the money. They're both in danger at this point. These call credit spreads are 14 and 18% out of the money. What's the likelihood that they do anything and they help? I don't know. We shall see. What's the likelihood they have a net profit between these two? I don't know. We'll see. But it's not looking pretty right now. Time will tell. All right. So let's continue. All right. Outstanding shares went up yet again. People keep buying into TSLY. Went up 650,000. This is a growing fund. The first fund and still growing. 30-day IV, 60%. Outstanding shares, 68.1 mil. Total net income so far, this is, building up to the next payment, 35 million. Distribution, 51 cents. Daily income, 3 cents. Daily yield, 0.23%. Annualized is 83%. So that's really good stuff right there. I'm putting up the moon because today we moon. Finally, we moon. We go up and up and up. What's the limit? I don't know. It'll settle somewhere. But hopefully, we get a decent gain. Obviously, they're part of Group A, and they declare next week on October 30th, one day before Halloween. Yay. All right, so what about payment information? Synthetic income total right now is 13.8 mil. All right, that's good, but this is even better. Short call income, 35 mil. So total net income is $48 million. And total income per share is 72 cents. Short call income per share, again, weeklies, they're making about 51 cents per share. So we throw that into the Rotomator. That's about, 67 cents or 78% yield coming next week. We'll see. Based on the IV, it's even lower because that's a 60% IV, 52 cent payment. However, the last month they paid $1.09. So people want over $1. I don't think they're going to get it. I mean, we had a really good month. But keep in mind, TSLY, they trade at a lower price. I mean, they're at what, $11 freaking dollars? So what do you expect? You can't get $1 every month. All right, let's go to holdings, and then we'll talk about earnings. So I don't know, man. This gold digger. Oh, someone asked me to explain the gold digger reference. So I guess, I don't, in summary, the gold digger is a put that is in danger, a put that's trying to take all of our money. So when they open a synthetic position, it's a buy call and a sell put. So when we are under the strike price of the synthetic, in this example, there's two synthetics, we're under both the 245 and the 250. We're going to have to pay a pretty penny. So right now you could see this synthetic is going to cost us 4.5 million and 147 million to close out the position if we had to close it out today. So when I say gold digger, this is the put, because the put, although we get a credit to open the put, but we have to close it at some point. We have to close out the position. But if it's not in our favor, I call it a gold digger because it's taking all of our money, right? It's taking all of our money, and that's the quick reference. So hopefully that helps. And then you have the buy call portion. I call this the dude, the poor dude in the scenario. Obviously, he's left with nothing, because she took all of his money. And, essentially we are him, right? So what do we got? What do we got here? What do we got going on? We got some calls heading into, this Friday. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be tight. I think the one they did for next week, they're screwed on. I think that was a terrible trade, but we'll see how these other ones for this week go, head into the weekend. So total net assets of TSLY, 761 mil. The NAV is 1118 and the trade price is 1119. Synthetic money, obviously you see it's not, it's useless. But, they're doing good, though. They are doing good for this month. A couple bad trades, though, could screw it all up. So I do have the earnings 5. What the earnings 5 is, since I'm tracking these funds, we'll just say religiously at this point, and we know earnings is coming up, I might as well talk about what happened, all right? So I just write down 5 notes that I think, again, I didn't read everything. I just took down a few important notes in case you guys wanted to get that update here. So this is for fiscal quarter 3Q 2024. Earnings per share was 72 cents, and that beat the expected earnings of 60 cents. Some of you are going to say, no, the expected was different. I know. The expected is different on many websites. I saw that, so whatever. We beat earnings. We beat EPS. We beat their, whatever these experts said was the estimate, we beat it. All right? Revenue, though, we did not. And that was not as talked about as much, but it didn't matter, apparently. But revenue, we had 25.18 bill. They expected, oh no. Did we beat revenue? What the hell? It showed as a miss, unless I wrote this wrong. But maybe we did beat it. I don't know. 25 versus 24. Either way, it doesn't matter. It was a fantastic quarterly earnings. All right. Something else I wrote. Tesla's sales and net income gained 8% year over year, ending a streak of 4 consecutive quarters of year over year profit decline. So obviously that's really good news. Automotive, this is number 3. Automotive revenue grew by 2% during the July to September quarter to $20 billion, accounting for the vast majority of Tesla's income. And for those of you that love the question, why are you just reading this to us? Because people drive. They listen to me when they drive. All right? They're listening to me right now. They're driving to work. People are busy. Okay? This is why I have to read to them. All right. Anyway, the services and the other revenue category accounted for $2.79 billion, a 29% increase compared to last year. Boom. Tesla said its energy generation and storage business made $2.3 billion for the quarter, a 52% year-over-year increase, but down from $3 billion it made last quarter. That's all right. Okay. But overall, again, whatever the market was expecting. And don't forget, we were selling off leading into earnings. And you know how that goes, right? Typically a sell-off leading into earnings. If the earnings is even decent, it seems like it flips green, right? But this earnings seemed to be really good. The earnings call went well. So here we are, and it's gonna be a good day for Tesla holders, or TSLY holders, Tesla, TSLL, all of us. We're just gonna be jumping for joy here. So yeah, congrats on that. Anyway, so TSLY's the only one that had a trade. So CONY and AMZY also did, but as far as the other, the 3 main ones I cover, NVDY did not. MSTY, did MSTY? No, let me go back. AMZY, yeah, only TSLY, AMZY, and CONY. Okay, all right. So let's cover NVDY. So NVDY has a 130 synthetic. How are they doing? 58 days away from expiration. They got earnings coming up as well. We'll see how it goes. They had some bad news yesterday. Something with their chip in the Apple iPhone, and both Apple and NVIDIA kind of tanked the market. Not only themselves, but they are the market, right? So the whole market was down, including Tesla, but not anymore. But these two, yeah, they can afford it. They could afford the hit. So yeah, their synthetic is in a good position though for NVIDIA. All right, let's go to the October tab and let's see how they do yesterday. Well, again, they were down, but not down too much. NVIDIA went down 2.81%. NVDY went down 1.74%. Let's see how their calls look for the week. Kind of needed a down day on this one, to be honest. They have, as you remember, all eggs in one basket, 90,640 contracts, 142 strike price. This is 1.75% out of the money. So the little beating they took yesterday was in their favor because, again, they're selling covered calls. Covered calls, bearish play. So the call that they sold was a 142, and now they're under the 142. NVIDIA's at 139. So as you may recall, the day before they were at 143. So again, the chip news tends to work in our favor. So we still have 2 trading days left to go. So they may recover, they may jump back over. We don't know, but we really wanted to settle under the 142. Of course, if they decide to moon, which probably won't this week, but we do have a 148 as backup. That's 6% away from helping. Outstanding shares for NVIDY did jump 125,000. Nothing too crazy there, but here's the recap. 30-day IV, 62%. Outstanding shares 48,100,000. Total net income 4.9 million. That's a distribution of 10 cents. Daily income of 1 penny. Wow, that's a lot of money. Daily yield 0.03%. Annualized yield 11.23%. Whoa, we're rolling, man. Reaction. I guess I didn't update it, but this should be a different reaction, actually. I was too busy updating the freaking earnings thing and this thing and that thing. But what should the reaction be? It should be a smiley face. So I wish I had a smiley pumpkin there, but I don't. So just imagine a smiley pumpkin. They declare in 13 days, again, on November 6th. Payment information, let's take a look. They do have a nice chunk of synthetic income, 92.6 mil. Short call income, weekly income, 4.9 mil. That's a net income of 97.6 mil. And look at that. Total income per share, 203. That is nice. Nice. But the weeklies, if we just look at the weeklies, throw that in the Rotomator, you ain't getting crap, right? So we can kind of ignore that. But if we just look at the the IV is 62%. Based on the IV, you get $1.34. Based on the all income scenario, you get 203. All right, but we'll see how it plays out. You know, they got some time till payment date, so we may get a pretty payment when it comes to NVDY soon. As far as holdings are concerned, no concern, as we mentioned, on the synthetic. And we just talked about the weekly, but we'll see how that plays out. But they're in a really good spot. They are. Obviously, their total net assets, 1.2 bill. The NAV's still sitting pretty, 25.90. Trade price, 25.92. Okay, good stuff right there. All right, so now we go to MSTY. All right, so MSTY is on a new file, FYI. So this is going to be kind of the new format. Obviously, the synthetic looks exactly the same. They have a 195 synthetic, 33,630 contracts. You know, their synthetic is 195 strike. They're 9.72% above that, so that's good. And that expires in 23 days. One of the changes is I'm not going to have a tab for each month, or should I say each 4-week period. I'm just going to have a tab for the weeklies, and that's it. And it's going to be the entire freaking fiscal year on one tab. And then each week, payment 1, payment 2, it's all going to be out here, okay? If that makes sense. It's just the best way I could think of it, and that's how it's going to be done. Why am I doing it all in one tab? Well, because I can make then a pivot table on this data, which I can pull you guys. You guys like the information. You guys like to see the historical data. I could do that a little easier if it is in one tab. As far as the prior fiscal year, I know you guys are going to want something, so that will be, I don't know. In due time, I'll think about something, but I'm sure you'll want to see like overall how they did each trade and all that. But all right, so how did MSTR do yesterday? They went down by 2.62%. MSTY went down by 1.41%. It's still at $30 though. They still are not under $30. They did touch 29, I believe. I'm not sure about 28, but that's it though. I mean, it's standing strong. So what do we got heading into Friday? Again, Friday's the 25th. They got 210, they got 220, 230. But we'll start from the top. The lowest strike is a small position, 990 contracts. That's in the money, 1.85% in the money. So they need to go down a little more if they want to win that one. However, the 220, this is a big position, 16,745 contracts, 2.83% out of the money. So that's obviously in danger as well. However, the 230s, they have a whole bunch of contracts in the 230s. How many? About what? 14, 15, almost 16,000 as well. The 230 is 7.5% out of the money. I'm not sure if any of these call credit spreads are going to be worth a damn, to be honest. They're placed so far away from the sold call. I mean, it's almost useless. I understand MSTR can jump, but like, look at this gap, 7.5% versus 19% gap. Like, what the hell are you doing? This is just like waste of money. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a grouch, but it's just, I don't know. It's not, I don't think they're doing it right on that one. All right. But the good news is, look at this. Look at these outstanding shares. It jumped 1,475,000. Are you kidding me? People bought in based on declaration. Why? Well, they're paying over a freaking $4 distribution. Hello. So that is a lot of money. In fact, the yield is around 175%, which is right? Ridiculous. But recap is 30-day IV, 104%. Outstanding shares, 26.4 mil. Total net income, 0. Again, we're starting fresh. This is a new day. Whatever they made yesterday would have gone into this, but they didn't make any money yesterday, so there's nothing here. All right, so let's move on to the reaction. The reaction is all the MSTY shareholders are getting together and clapping, and they're very happy. They're a little giddy, but they're happy with their $4 payment. And they're going to go ahead and probably go out and party and then waste it over the weekend and, get rejected by girls. But they'll try their hardest. We'll see what happens, though. Group D, they declare again in 27 days on November 20th. Payment information, this is the new setup again. I'm just showing you kind of like, I haven't done it on all of them. It takes a lot of freaking time to do that. So I'm just showing you on MSTY because this is set up. Again, there's 13 payments throughout the year. I will add how much income they earn before the next payment. So obviously I have to do this. I'm behind. I have to do this in the other two. But this is what it's going to look like. The only difference is I'm going to add the total distribution payment. So how much they're actually paying out. And that'll be truly based on the number of outstanding shares as of X date. And I did write that so I don't forget. So that'll be locked in as of X date. So we can truly track if there's any additional income that would need to be paid out for the fiscal year when the time comes, if that made sense. All right. Again, no really, there is, Yeah, so no payment information. There's no synthetic income yet for the new month, and there's no weekly call income, but there will be. But we'll just look at the IV. Again, the IV is outstanding, 104%. 104% IV, unbelievable. Just based on that, the next payment could be around 267. But again, we just got paid $4, so we don't care about the next payment. We care about this payment, which will be paid on Friday. By the way, today is ex-dividend date, so we should see a drop actually here. I didn't even look for that. All right, so as far as the holdings go for MSTY, they're doing very well. They're synthetic, obviously, no gold digger, broke-ass girl, 45 million, we can afford her. You see in orange, right? The dude has 111 mil. So it's a good setup so far. And obviously we have a whole bunch of weeklies and some useless call credit spreads, but maybe they'll prove me wrong. We'll see how it plays out. All right, so here it is. So yeah, there's the drop. Total net assets, 697 mil. All right. So the NAV is now 2641. MSTY will be opening around that price. Could you imagine? The trade price as of close yesterday shows $30.67. The difference is $4.26, which is around the payment that they have declared. I think, I don't know, what is it, 416 or maybe that's it. I forget. I know it's over 4, low 4s. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out. All right. All right. So that's TSLY, NVDY, MSTY. And then CONY. So AMZY and CONY. They had trades though. So we may want to talk about them. What the heck did they do, right? BC, you see BCs? That means they closed out some trades. So we see some BCs on the 10/25 date. Okay. Look to the right though. How much did they pay on the BCs? 10 cents and 10 cents. All right. That's good. What else? All right. So how many? 140. It looks like they only had the call on that one, and you go down the BC. They have an S on the 9,740 contracts with a 10/25 expiration, 1 penny they made. So call credit spread deemed to be useless there. But now if you look in the middle, you see the 11 ones. These are the new contracts for next week. So 140 contracts, they sold the 195, and then they have a call credit spread there. And then they sold, for the 9,740 contracts, they sold a call. Where the hell is it? Also a 195, which again, always the same strike. And then they bought a call at 207.50. So similar strikes, all legs in one basket, although it is separated on the intraday trades. All right, let's take a look. But the good part is looks like they won, so that's good. Amazon went down. Well, that's why they won. Amazon went down 2.7%. AMZY went down 2.28%. Earnings should be on Halloween. Is that right? After hours? That's scary. Obviously, I won't be home, but you guys can let me know how they do. All right, so what do we got? Here is their holdings. We have the 185 synthetic. Right now, they're just under it. They were doing well with that, but now they're 0.16% under it. And you can see the calls. Again, there's only 2 lines because they chose all eggs in one basket of 195, right? The 195, that's 5.57% out of the money, all right, on Amazon for 7 trading days. I don't know if that's good or not. Again, we haven't been tracking Amazon too long, but it could be because Amazon, it doesn't move like crazy like the other ones, but we'll see. They did buy a call credit spread of 12%. So again, that's a 7% gap on that. However, the gap for the sold call is only 5. So again, it's I don't know, man. I don't do call credit spreads, and I'm no expert. And I understand it just limits the loss if we get blown through. But some of these, man, it just looks like a waste of money. You're better off taking the risk on the higher sold call strike. Just my thought. Anyway, if we look at this, the total net assets total 177 mil. The NAV is 1849, and the trade price is 1931. Why? Because AMZY also pays in Group D. So today is their declaration. I think they paid high 70 cents, and they had like a 50% yield. So AMZY had a really good payment. So congrats to the AMZY holders. I am one of them, so congrats to me. All right, so their 30-day IV sits at 40%. So again, they yielded higher than their IV, which is good. IV estimate was 60 cents, but obviously they paid more. Group D is, their next deck date, 11/20, 27 days. We shall see. All right, so that's the update on AMZY. What about CONY? Does anyone like CONY? Or is MSTY just hogging the show? All right, what did CONY do? They did a BC buy to close call 222.50, 1025. Okay, and they sold their call, and they got 15 cents per share. That was for the 240. So they BC'd the 222.50. They only paid 30 cents, which is pretty good. And they actually got 15 cents on the other, I guess because of the time value that's left in it. So that's why. But again, in the end, they paid more. Obviously, they lost 15 cents per share on that. And then they opened a new position, and they sold the call. They got a credit, 493 credit, and then they had to pay 152 for the call credit spread. But again, look at the freaking gap, 215 and 237.50. I don't know, man. Big gaps. All right, so coin went down 5.93%, and CONY went down 5.34%. So coin has not been doing well. We know they had a nice bull run, and I guess people are just cashing out. It seems like when I sold my CONY, it was just at the right time. I usually never time things this perfectly, but I guess it worked out. All right, anyway, so coin is at 198. Their synthetic is 190. So right now, they're sitting pretty on the synthetic still, 4.48% out of the money. Not as much as they were, but you can see the pink number growing and the orange number decreasing. All right, so the call for, so if we look here, expiration date under QSIP, you see a 1025, and then you see the 11/1. Let's focus on the 1025 first, which are the first 2 lines. They have a 222.50 strike price. This is 11% out of the money. All right. So they have 2 trading days and 11% out of the money. This should be okay. The call credit spread is 20% away from helping. That's probably useless, and they'll probably cash that thing out for a penny. And now the other one for next week, they sold the call. This is the 215. That's 8% out of the money for 7 trading days. Is that enough? I don't know, man. I don't know. But look at the freaking call credit spread. 19% away. Good Lord. 237.50. Is that going to be of use? Again, time will tell. So again, the sold call, when we sell the call, we want the ending result. We want the price of the underlying to be below the strike price of the call. So we win, okay? We don't want to have to, make money on the call credit spread, okay? Because if we do, in the end, we're losing money, right? The call credit spread is great and all because it offsets the loss. However, it's only for those times where, the fund just moons and we just get our asses kicked. Doing these on a regular basis, it seems to be, eating at our income. But again, enough about call credit spreads. Let me be positive here. Total net assets, 688 mil. The NAV is 1331. Trade price 1330. All right, changes a penny. Whoopie-doo. Synthetic is doing good, as you can see. So we got bailout money if needed. However, it was much better before. 30-day IV, really good number, 86%. IV estimate, 88 cents. They declare again in 20 days on November 13th. They're part of Group C. All right, so that's the update on all of the funds. If you want more information on the distribution, and also I cover a lot of things like recovery rate, I cover house money, things like that. I made that video yesterday. Go check it out. It launched at 3 p.m. yesterday. I'll pin it to the top of the comments, okay? So you guys can watch it if you haven't already. Sorry. All right. So let's go to the pre-market. Boeing stock falls in pre-market. Oh my God. If you own Boeing, can I ask why? I just feel like they never have anything good, anything positive. All right, so Tesla, this is as of 5:37 a.m. Again, the market opens in like 4 hours, so a lot can change. But as of right now, Tesla is up double digits. They're up 10.95%. They're at 237.05. 237.01. So again, really good stuff. Really good news from yesterday. Can I close this? There you go. TSLY is up, wow, pretty decent gain, 8%. They're at 12.09, so they're out of the $11 range. That's good to see. NVDY, okay, the sell-off's over. I don't think that's good necessarily for all their calls, but they're up 1%, 1.05%. They're at 141. NVDY is up 0.81%. They're at 26.13. CONY is up 2.05%. They're at 203. CONY is up wow, how much of that they get? Almost all of it. Good job, CONY. They're up 2.03% at 1357. MSTR is up 0.85%. It's at 215.77. MSTY, it shows up, but they're actually down because of ex-dividend date, right? Obviously, you see it at $26. But it's showing, ignoring the drop from ex-dividend date, they're up 0.9% at 26.71. Again, guys, this is just my thought, obviously. People consider it a discount because of the drop on ex-dividend date. But again, it moves based on what the underlying does. If you feel like the underlying is still at a discount, then use that as the advantage to buy into MSTY. Not necessarily it dropping because of an ex-dividend date. This is just essentially the visual. The visual shows 26, but what is the underlying at? If the underlying is overpriced, then this may not be a deal, right? But again, we think Bitcoin's going to the moon. So essentially MSTR, the mentality is it's always a bargain. So I don't know, but use that mentality when you think about other ones. All right, TSLY. Again, they're a 2x double leverage fund of Tesla. So they should move twice what Tesla does. So since we're on TSLL, they're up 21.53%. They're at 1095, which is awesome. All right. They were at 11 something, but now they're at 1095, which is fine. All right. As far as options, let's get to that. So yesterday, I sold one more put to go yesterday. I sold a put on TSLL. This one was an $8 put, not for this week, but for next week, November 1st expiration. I got 33 cents per share, or $33, and this was 167% annualized. Obviously, since I sold a put at $8 and the market, Tesla was down yesterday and now it's going to be up, I could probably close this for very cheap, and I can make essentially more than 50% of my profit in a day. So I will look into that, all right? Also, my other puts that are expiring, I'll tell you my plan if you guys care. Hold on a second. So what do we say? It's almost at $11, right? People, time to talk options. All right, so I have an 850, a 9, a 950, and a 10. It looks like they're all going to expire worthless. I'm not going to pay to close those out early. Number one, they're essentially worthless. Why would I close them out early? Number two, they would lower my cost basis anyway. So I'm just going to let them ride. It's not worth it to me to close out the 1025s early because, again, they expire in 2 days anyway. So I used all, the time value was already spent. So it's not going to be any bargain to me to close it. Plus, most of these brokers, they do charge a fee for each options trade. Keep that in mind. I know it's not a lot, but just keep that in mind. So I'm going to leave them alone. However, the 11 ones that you see, we have an 8, a 850, and a 9. I'm going to see if it's worth it to close those early. If it is worth it based on how much premium profit I already made, then I'll close it early. If not, I'll just let them ride too. So again, as far as the shares I own 700 shares. My cost basis is $11.50. I have not sold a call because I was waiting for TSLL to recover. And obviously here we are. Is it at $11.50? No, it's not. It's at $10.24. But since it's so close to $11.50, I can now sell covered calls at $11.50 and make a really, really good premium. I'm hoping it goes a little higher. And then I could choose maybe a $12 or more. Again, I'm only going to sell covered calls at my cost basis or above. I'm not going to be crazy and sell calls below my cost basis. But that's just me. That's my strategy. And that way I never have a capital loss. I only have capital gains. And then obviously the premium is the icing on the cake. That's the income. That's what we're going to live off of. All right. So we'll never lose our capital and we'll live off the premium. Obviously, right now, the premium gets reinvested, but you get what I'm saying. All right, TNA, they're doing well. They're up 1.52%. The whole freaking market was down. I wanted to sell puts so bad. But again, I was honestly concerned of Tesla earnings. I thought I was getting ready to average down to 550. We were talking about that in the Discord. And I was ready to do it. And I'm happy I don't have to do it, but it was, you never know, man. You never know. It worked out in our favor, though. All right, so TNA is up 1.52%. Again, if I sold a put on TNA yesterday, it would have been great, probably. But whatever, guys, whatever. All right, AMDY, they're up 0.99%, 13.21. AMZY, obviously you see the drop in the ex-dividend date, but excluding that, they're up 0.5%, 18.64. Bitcoin is up barely, but it's up 0.7%, 66,820. BitX, which is again 2x Bitcoin, they're up 1.54%. And last but not least, SOXL, they are up 3.61%. So they did, again, I had a 34 put for this Friday, and I did mention if SOXL goes below the 34, I will sell more puts, all right? And I did. So I'll show you that in a second. So here it is. I sold another put below the current price, again, to average down if needed. This is a $31 put for next Friday. This one paid me $1 even per share, or $100 total annualized. that, and it's about 130% on an annualized basis. So again, I shelled out $3,100. They gave me $100, all right? Which, pretty good deal. I only have to lend it out until November 1st, or maybe even earlier. Again, I may be able to close SOXL if it's super green today. I may be able to close this with a 50% profit in one day. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of options. But yeah, keep an eye on that. All right, so that's the last one. So the trades I did for TSLL and SOXL right now, they look pretty damn good. But guys, things don't always go in the favor. So I'm not going to pretend I knew where the market was going. But that's how you have to play options, right? You play options, you just assume the best or the worst, all right? You embrace both. And if you embrace both and it doesn't matter what happens, like, again, to me, it truly didn't matter what happened after earnings. I was ready for either. But of course, this is the best case scenario at this very moment because I am already assigned 700 shares of TSLL. So that's great. Anyway, enough about options. So that's the update on all the YieldMax funds. Again, I'll pin the video from yesterday to the top of the comments. Go check that out. As mentioned earlier, if you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. It does go a long way. If you have any questions or concerns or comments, leave them down below. And what else? What else we got? What's today? Today is ex-dividend date. So yes, your account is going to drop. If you're overblown with Group D stocks or ETFs, your account is going to be down today until tomorrow when you get that pretty payment. Unless you have like Robinhood or one of these others that decides to pay a little late, but you get what I'm saying. But yeah, happy ex-dividend date and all that jazz. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, we will try again tomorrow. But yeah, I guess we're done. It's keyword time. What time is it? 5:47 a.m. We're making pretty good time. I'm actually debating going for a quick run before work. We'll see if that works out because it's not as freezing. So that's a good part. All right, we need a keyword. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we could say, I don't know. I mean, we had a really good day between MSTY, massive payment, and Tesla earnings. So everyone is pretty happy, I would say, for the most part, right? And I would just, I was gonna say I'm rich, bitch, but maybe not. Maybe that. I'm trying not to curse on here because it's inappropriate. I get it. Some people don't appreciate that. So how about I'm rich or I'm rich, B, or something like that. All right. So the keyword for today, if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you could say I'm rich, sucker, or I'm rich, B. I don't know, say whatever the hell you want, but we're all happy. That's the bottom line. That's what's important. We're having good days and bad days, but today we're gonna have a good day today. Most of us are. So congratulations for those who were patient, not only holding MSTY but holding Tesla, TSLL, and TSLY. It's just gonna be like a good day to see, But yeah, that's all I got for today. I just wanted to say thank you all for watching.